We are already at week 3. So congratulations if you are moving along with me. For those of you who are totally new to this channel, welcome. My name is Joni and I'm doing a special series on belly dancing for beginners, for women 50 plus. And again, 50 plus because I'm 51 and I feel I'm getting younger and younger every time I dance. And when I dance more, sometimes I'm not dancing enough and I feel when I'm not as active, yeah, my body feels it, I feel like, a little bit achy. And so, but the moment I start moving again, the better I feel. And that's what I'm sharing with you. In order to kind of start feeling young again, you need to be a little bit more active, you need to move around. And when I use something that's so beautiful, like the art of belly dancing, not only you benefit from being more active and feel good, there's so many things that these movements gives you. There's so much different quality of the energy that the movement gives you, not just physically, but emotionally too. So there's a lot of things that you'll get from these videos. And I'm very happy to share that with you. So let's get into something comfortable and come and belly dance with me for we're doing a horizontal, so more of that hip flex, and some ribcage movement. So let's do this together. So we're gonna warm up the pelvis, flex the knees, and tuck the pelvis. Ready? Good. So we're always going to be doing the same warm-up. So in order to kind of just relax the pelvis, relax the jaw, you could put your hands so you can feel a nice little heaviness. And again, just soften the knees, tuck the pelvis, in and release, in and release, in and release. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 4. Tuck, release. And then the knees, flex, bounce it, flex, release. Now I want you to keep going, but bring right heel off the floor. Good. Now switch. Keep the bounce, tuck, release, left heel off the floor. Just want you to make sure you see it. And both. Let's do 4 on the right. Bring that right heel and switch left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now to 1, 2, switch. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And then still tucking my pelvis and releasing. Loosen up. Now single. Right heel, left heel, right heel, left heel. So this, I really want you to kind of be more grounded, feeling the gravity kind of pulling. And you can tuck, release the pelvis and just shake it out, bounce it. Keep going. Let's do just 4 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So now we're going to bring our feet apart. And I want you to just kind of switch to weight from one foot to the right, to the left. Soft knees, right, left, right, left. Just kind of swing the body to right, to the left. Right foot, left foot. Keep going. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Deep breath in up. And breathe out. We're going to bring our right foot back. Okay? So I want to make sure that both weight is on both feet. Now if you have a hard time with balance, you could bring kind of the heel more out to the side. Okay? Instead of straight, kind of bring your heels a little bit out. Soft knees. Good. Breathing up. Relax the shoulders, breathe out. Now I want you to bring your right heel off the floor. Good. Hold it here. Now bring your hands behind your head. Bring the elbows back. Chin up. Tuck the pelvis in. So tuck the pelvis. You're going to feel a nice stretch of the hip flexor. And bring it in and back. Good. Now I want you to bring your hands to the front. Relax your shoulders. Do a nice little globe with the fingertips. Okay, touch together. Reach forward. Now you're going to start shifting the weight from the center to the front. So you're going to bend the left knee and go forward. Now hinge from here. Okay, keep that knee 90 degrees and reach forward. Now let's bring the right heel off the floor and go up. Good. You're going to feel the weight more on the left heel. You're going to be working the glutes. It's kind of contracting, holding yourself up. And bring it down. Arms up. And switch. Left foot back. Okay, and again, if you want to have better balance, if you have a hard time with balance with the foot forward, you can kind of bring the heels out to the side a little bit. Deep breath in, up. Relax the shoulders, breathe out. Now lean to your right side. Feeling that stretch here. And bring it in. Relax the shoulders again. Bring the left heel off the floor and tuck the pelvis and hold it here. And release. Now I want you to bring it forward. Reach forward. And bring your left heel off the floor. Hold it here. And then bring it back in. Feet together. All right, so let's get into the first movement, the hip slides. The hip slides. Now, you could use the hip slide by working the oblique muscles to help you move the pelvis from one side to the other. And you could also have the foot and the knee help you to make that range a little bit bigger. So let's bring our feet just underneath the hip. But first of all, let's look into our posture before we start doing these beautiful movements. We're going to go and see where we're at. So is my knees locked? Am I like this? Am I comfortable with my posture? Sometimes we don't know because we're so used to a habitual posture. My habitual posture has been this. So I have to learn to really bring my pelvis underneath the rib cage and soften the knees a little bit and tuck down a little bit, okay? Again, when I do this, it helps me to have a little bit more range in my lower back. When I'm arched like this, I don't have as much range when I'm doing different movements. When I'm a little bit more tucked in and I make sure the pelvis is underneath, my knees are a little bit soft. They're straight, but they're not locked. Okay, because I've noticed a lot of women, not me, I've always had flexed knees, but the women that I notice that have really locked knees as the years of teaching, I find that it's women that wears high heels a lot. I don't know, it's because they're like this and the legs are straight. Yeah, so just be aware about what's happening with my knees. Okay, so you want to have to flex knees. You want to be aware about the weight on your feet. And again, in tutorial 1, you want to put weight on where the big toe is and where the little toe is. Okay, that's your 2 point of contact, and then you have the heel, right in the middle of the heel. Those are good contacts to make sure that your weight is even on both feet on those 3 points of contact. And then you could arch the foot, so like pull in, so you can feel the arch. And that's usually where I like to have my body on the arch, okay? So I know I'm centered when I'm there. when I'm too much on my heel, I'm not balanced. I feel out of balance. I don't feel secure. But when I kind of put my whole body and I flex from the ankles, I'm using the ankle to kind of find my center of balance. So use the anchor to kind of, you don't want to use the knees or anything like that. Keep yourself nice and straight and let the ankles flex where you feel like, oh, I feel secure here, I feel good. And then you want to hold that. You can soften the knees a little bit more and then tuck the pelvis a little bit. And then when it comes to the upper body, I like to do a deep breath in, like a balloon in every direction. And I'm going to repeat this. And if you want to fast forward, you can. But I mean, it's posture. If you could use it every day, your dance is going to be better and your life, day-to-day life will be better because you have correct posture every day. So we're going to go and breathe, expand the lungs. Like air balloon, hold the expansion, but I want you to breathe out from the belly. Good. So I want you to kind of, hold the expansion. Don't make it so big where it's uncomfortable, but you have you got about, a good range here where you kind of feel comfortable. And then you want to bring the shoulders towards the back, okay? So it's like roll back and relaxed. And then your L shape, and there goes your posture. So we're going to soften the knees. You're in your proper posture. And we're going to start just working the obliques on one side. I want you to contract the muscles here. And it's like you're just pulling a corset or using a corset as an example. And the strings are here. And you just want to really tighten the strings. And as you do that, you want to push that out. And then all of a sudden, the pelvis moves to one side. Okay, and then untie the strings and relax. Contract, 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 and then release. Contract, contract the right side and release. You might notice that your lower back, you feel like, ooh, I feel it in my lower back. You are stretching muscles, so it's going to be normal. So if it's uncomfortable, don't go as far. Just a little bit, okay? Just do a little movement, just a small range. And then release. And again, contract and release. Contract and release. So you're using the oblique muscles to move your pelvis on one side. You're going to your left, but you're using the muscles in your right side. Now, this is the law of opposite, which you use in pretty much everything, every movement you do. It's usually the opposite muscles that's going to help you to maneuver a movement. Contract and release. Contract and release. Contract and release. So now we're just working the obliques. We're not using any knee or footwork. It's just the muscles in your core, which is great because it helps you with your hourglass. It really makes this, for me, it did. I used to be very straight, so now I had this nice hourglass here. And it's all these movements that I've been doing in belly dancing that help me to kind of create that nice little curve. All right, we're going to switch. Now we're going to use the left to go to the right. So contract these muscles and then release. Contract and release. Contract and release. So you could also pretend that you want to push this hand to the right. Well, you have to move this. You got to contract, push, 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 and then release. Push the hand out of the way and release. So you're going to contract, pull the muscles in here to push out that way. And release. Last one. Okay, let's do 4. Right contract to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now 2. 1, 2. Now switch. 1. Now singles. Contract this side and then relax. I'm going to contract here. Right, left. Contract, 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 contract. So using the oblique muscles to do all the work to move your pelvis from one side to the other. All right. So if you want to make this bigger, you're going to go and use the inside edge of your foot and also the knee. So I'm going to the left. We are going to the left. We're going to contract, but now see how far? This is pretty much all I could do. Now if I want to add more into it, I'm going to use the right side, and again it's always a law of opposites, so it's going to be my right side that's going to help me to push more to the left. So now I'm going to use the inside edge of the foot like I'm digging into sand, and then maybe bend the knee too. See how far I went? All right, let's do the same with this other side. So we're going to go first contract the left side to go to the right, dig into the inside foot of left side, and then bend the knee. Woo! Wow, isn't that great? So let's do that again. Obliques, inside edge, and knee. Obliques, inside edge, and knee. And 1, and 2. That's it, just go side to side. And you notice your horizontal line went more curved, like a crescent, or like a banana shape. Boom. Keep going. Now if we want to add a little flick to it, which is kind of a nice little accent, you can bring your feet about hip apart. Start with the obliques, and then when you bend, so we're going to the left, when you bend that right knee, you're going to kind of add a little boop, like you're kind of just closing the car door with your hip. Boom, little accent or flick. So oblique and flick. Oblique and flick. So you're hitting the car door with your right hip, and now switch, hip left, and 1. So you're kind of just almost like sitting into it. You know, you're just kind of putting all the weight on the right foot and then on the left foot. And flick the hip. Boom, boom, boom. Slide and flick, 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 slide and flick. Boom, boom. One more time. Good. So we're going to use, actually let's do something too. Not only being on the spot, you could also use that slide and put that foot out and kind of flick. Okay? So let's do on the spot. Okay? And then bring that foot, the right foot, to the side and flick once. So we'll kind of add a little bit of variation to this. Now let's do that again on the spot. And bring your left foot out, so the weight should be on the right, and flick. So you're still doing a slide and a flick out to the side. And let's do alternate. You're gonna go side and flick. Bring it in. Put that foot out to the side and slide and flick. And slide and flick. Bring it in. Put that foot out, slide and flick. So I do put like weight about 10% on there, and then maybe 20 or 30%, a little bit more weight, and I slide and then I flick. Okay, we're gonna put this with music. We're gonna use a maximum rhythm, pretty simple. Let's just do a little bit drill so you could feel it with the music. So it's a maximum rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 4/4 rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, watch your posture. Soften the knees. And tuck the pelvis. We go. 1, 2, 3, 4. We flick. Now, I know that's fast. Let's go slow. Let's go just the obliques. We're going to right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 2. 1, 2. Switch. 1, to a single. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm just using the obliques. No knees, no footwork. Now we're gonna go and add the knee in the inside edge. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Slow. Now let's go and speed it up. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's do 3 of these and then a side little step out. You go 1, 2, 3. Now bring the left foot out and push. And then let's go back to 1, 2, 3, step out on 4. 1, 2, 3, out. 1, 2, 3, out. 1, 2, 3, out. Right, left, right, left, right, left, right, out. 1, 2, 3, out. Now let's switch. Let's go left, right, left, right, left, right, left, out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So my hands are in base position. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. So when I go to the side, I kind of bring my right arm to the front and look at my beautiful hip. 4. And 1, 2, base position, and push out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Awesome. Now we did all of these movements on a basic pose. Now we're going to go and focus on the classical pose. Now we usually don't do much of the slide. We usually add different variation, which we're going to be working on it in the future videos. But for now, I still want you to see what it looks like when you're just doing a slide, because we need to work those core muscles. So we're going to go same thing as you did. If we want to go right, you're going to use the muscles to the left to kind of slide. So when you're in a classical pose, okay, your right heel, make sure it's off the floor and it stays anchored. Soft knees. Okay, pelvis is kind of tucked in. And now I want you to use the muscles here and slide. And 1, contract here, 2, 3, 4. You notice my knee kind of goes back, but I don't lock it. It's just a small range. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. So eventually those slides will go into a circle, a figure 8. So you kind of want to know how to do this in classical pose. Now we're going to work our belly and then our chest slide. So the week one, we've worked on the whole wall of the belly to contract and then push out, to contract and to push out. I want to divide the belly in 2 this time. So we're going to divide the belly in 2 and focus only on the top. So let's say the line is right here and you want to use the diaphragm muscles right here and relax the lower part of the belly, which is going to be underneath the belly button. I want you to contract the muscles here, like somebody punched you, and don't forget to just breathe normally. Just make sure you're breathing. Contract, and then I want you to push out. I want you to go as far as you can out with your diaphragm out, and then contract the muscles. So we're just working the muscles in and outward, in and outward. Just the top. Contract in and out. Contract in and out. Contract in. Don't think about the bottom at all. Just contract the top, in and out. Contract in and out. In. And again, you pull in the corset. Really, really pull it in. And then go out, 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 out. Really get involved with these muscles. Really get to know the abdominal, because you could actually use every muscle in your abdominal, one muscle at a time. That's really mind and body connection. Okay, now we're going to go from the lower belly. I always think about the pelvic floor, holding, like you're holding your pee. You really, really want to contract from the pelvic floor towards the belly button. Now, I want you to relax the top. The top is not doing anything. It's going to be from the pelvis floor all the way up to the belly button. So I want you to kind of contract, pulling upward. Again, no special breathing. I want you to breathe. Okay, so there's not a breathe in, breathe out. It's just a normal breathing. All I want you to do is to engage the muscles. Think about what you're doing with the muscle. The reason why I'm saying, you know, you gotta breathe, because a lot of the time, a lot of the students tend to hold their breath when they're doing muscle work in the abdominals. Again, keep going. So eventually, what I'd like in the future is we're going to contract when we do the practice drill next week. And you could do it, you know, you don't have to wait for the practice. You could do it now and then during the week. Is to kind of divide it and then contract the bottom, and then contract the top, release, then contract the bottom and release, contract the top and release, contract the bottom and release. So you're not doing the whole wall of your belly. You really are just working one part of the belly at a time. From the pelvis floor, you release to the diaphragm. Okay, now we're going to go into our slides, right into our ribcage area. Just like you did with the hip, you're going to contract the opposite muscles in order for that chest to slide. So if you're going to the left, you're going to contract the obliques right in here. So these muscles are contracting. See how you see the muscles doing all the work here in order to kind of squeeze, just like you're pulling a corset together really tight, and it, all of a sudden it push the ribcage to the other side and then release. Contract these muscles, pull it in, and then that goes out to the side. Let's do the other one. Contract, 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 and release. Contract these muscles. And sometimes you're like, I don't know how to contract those muscles. And that's okay, because we are still not connected with the body. And so it's like, once you're like, okay, muscles will be able to pull and contract and stretch the ribcage to one side. Now, sometimes it's nice to kind of have your hands to help you. So let's say you want to go to the right, keep that hand there, and just think about, okay, I got to push that hand out to the side. I got to contract this in order to push that hand out to the side. Get it out of the way, out of the way, out of the way. Switch, contract the right, push that hand out to the side. Do. Push it out. Okay, now that could take a while, because I remember when I started doing belly dancing in the beginning, I was really, really tight there. And it could be also not just the muscles, but it could also be a blockage that we have. If you were like me in my teens, I started to have like big breasts. Sometimes I would kind of shun and be, you know, embarrassed or have, you know, some shame. And so it's kind of normal to kind of not showcase, right? Or like, ooh, you know, you want to hide it. And so that creates an emotional blockage. And it takes a while for you to kind of, and these movements going to help you to kind of say, no, you know, I'm not going to be shamed because I have breasts. It's beautiful. Why be shamed by that? I mean, it gives milk to my beautiful daughter, to my baby, you know, so it's a great tool. So why hide it, right? So funny how we've been programmed. So these movements will help you to release the emotional blockage too at the same time. So it could be physical and it could be emotional. And that's what's so great about these movements. They have these kind of qualities that could really help you to open up to things that you were blocked and you didn't know. Now we're gonna go and do, that's pretty much it when it comes to the rib cage. So let's do a little, maybe a little drill with the belly and then the rib cage, and then we'll do some footwork. All right, so we're gonna start doing rib cage. We're gonna do 3 slide and then a contraction of the top belly. So we're gonna combine that together. So if you want to, you could put your hands here to really make sure that your eyes are letting the rib cage, because sometimes we wanna move our hips. So we're gonna go to the right, left, right, contract here. So on every boom, 1, 2, 3, doom, 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 and release. Slide, 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 bring it center, contract the top. Slide, 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 bring it center, contract, and release. One more. Now let's go this time. Left, right, left, contract the lower belly and then release. Left, right, left, center, contract, release. Left, right, left, lower belly, release. Bring center, 5, 6, 7, 8. Make sure when you use your lower belly that you contract just the lower. Don't use your buttocks. Two more. Good. And now we're ready for our traveling step. So today will be a step toe or step touch. So we start with the right foot. So let's put the right heel off the floor of the right foot, and we're gonna just start, the weight is all on your left, and all we're gonna do is step on the right and then toe tap the left foot, and that's all it is. It's just a step, toe, and it's really the ball of the foot, not the toe, okay? Or just a touch, step, toe, step, ball, step, ball. So you do a full step and then just the ball. And keep that heel anchored up. Now, this is in place. You could travel with this. So when you do a step, really do a step forward, and then the ball is always right beside the other foot. Let me just move back so you can see this. So start with your right foot, heel off the floor. You're gonna step forward. The ball of the foot is right beside the other foot. You step forward, and keep that ball of the foot right beside. Step forward. Good. Same thing going back. You're going to bring your left foot, step back, ball of the foot, right foot. Okay, close together. Now, this one now goes back, so you alternate. Step, ball. Left foot goes back, step, ball. Step forward, step, ball, step, ball, step, ball. Step back, ball, step, ball, step, ball. You can add a nice little hip lift with this. Ready? I'm going to step with the right foot, step, ball, press against the floor, and then bring the hip up. Notice I don't overextend the knee. I keep my knee still soft. Boom. Press against the floor, boom. Now left foot, step, up, step, ball, lift. Now let's bring the left foot back. Step, right heel off the floor, ball the foot and hip lift. Step, lift, step, hip lift, step, hip lift. Okay, we're going to do this a little bit faster. We're going to start with the right foot, stepping forward, and you go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Right foot back. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And again. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and back. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. All right. So next week will be the practice drill. We're going to be really practicing on all those movements and adding week 1 to it. So we're going to progress and always review the movement. Now you could do your meditation and your stretch and from week 1, and if not, that's okay. Do your own stretch and practice this. Review the tutorial again if you want to. Put some music on and practice. But next week we'll put it all together. Now I'm wishing you a wonderful day, and thanks and so much. Thank you so much for doing this for yourself and doing this with me. I appreciate it. I love teaching this. It's such a great gift to have in your life, and it's been my biggest gift that keeps on giving. Love you all. Mwah. So before we start, let's do a little stretch. So one of the things I like to do as my stretch, I like to go to my side. Okay, actually, I don't think I need this anymore. So I want you to bring your left leg in front and the other one in the back. So it's kind of like a zigzag. Let me just get this thing out of the way here. And I'm going to start with kind of lifting the hip towards the front and then kind of sit back. Forward and then back. Which is kind of stretching the psoas muscle, which is like the soul muscle, because it's one of the deepest muscles in our body. But we use it a lot in belly dancing in our day-to-day life. So this is kind of a nice little stretch for it. And then we're gonna just bring that hip forward and we're gonna bring that chest down. Okay, so if you want to, I like to rest it on my knee. You could just leave it like this. I'm gonna bring it all the way down. And I'm just gonna hold it here for a couple seconds. Just breathe into it. Release all the tension to your thigh and slowly bring it up. I'm going to repeat on the other side. Okay, bring your left leg back. It's kind of a zigzag, and bring the hip towards the front and then towards the back. Towards the front, so you're going to feel a nice stretch. And that psoas muscle is attached from the spine all the way towards the front of the pelvis down to your femur bone. Your thigh bone. One more. And again, we're going to just keep that hip towards the front. Bring your chest. Hold it here. Stretching the right glute. I'm going to bring it all the way down. And stretching the side of the right thigh. And bring it in. All right, so we're going to do one more thing, and that's going to be going on your back. I'm just going to relax the knees up, heels and foot flat forward. I want you to breathe in. Now I want you to bring your arms over your head. Take your time. Breathe in, and as you breathe out, try to bring your belly, the button towards the spine. Kind of flatten the back, tuck the pelvis in. And then release. Okay. Now you could stay like this, or you could go all the way down. And now let's get ready for the meditation. Now take a deep breath in, into your lungs. Expand. Release. Deep breath in into your belly. Expand. Release. Now go all the way down to your toes. Contract and flex really tight. Really tight. And release. Now would you contract your calves. Squeeze your muscles. And release. Now contract your hamstring and your quads. Contract the legs really tight. And release. Now squeeze your glutes. Contract the buttocks. Really, really tight. Keep squeezing. Yes. And release. Now contract your belly. Pull the navel right into the spine. Contract, contract. Squeeze. And release. Now squeeze your shoulder blades. Try to bring them close together. Squeeze. And release. And now your shoulders. Bring your shoulders all the way up to the ears. Squeeze. And then release. Long neck. Yes. Now your arms. Contract the bicep and the tricep. Contract the top arms nice and tight. And relax. Now put your hands in a fist and squeeze, squeeze, and squeeze the forearms. And then let it go. Now I want you to squeeze your lips together nice and tight. Squeeze the jaw. Be tight. Then let it go. Relax. Now frown. Frown. Squeeze the eyebrows together. And release. Just feel the relaxation in your body. Be in your body. Now it's time for your beautiful affirmation. I want you to have a vision of yourself as the dancer that's within you, but also see the youth in you. As you have that vision, repeat this affirmation in your head. And now realize that within me is a spiritual joy body, ever young, ever beautiful. I have a beautiful mind, eyes, nose, mouth, ears, and skin. The divine youth body, which in this moment, here and now, is perfect. Know that the divine alchemist is within you. Deep breath in and breathe out. Now put a smile on your face. Slowly open your eyes